So this is my ditch. It was a little bit worse actually where I started, but this bit's got quite a nice bottom to it. So I'm just trying to clean out the sludge, although this bit's running quite well, so that's helping, and square it up a little bit. I don't think it's been maintained for quite a while. Yeah, there's a lot more sludge to start with. I think as it's come down, there's another ditch that's intersected it, which is flowing quite well, and that has I think that's quite helped the leaves to stop getting caught up so much. It's kept it a little bit cleaner, but there's still bits where, you know, roots and things have disturbed the banks and whatever. So yeah, just trying to clean it out. It's sort of the main drain ditch really out of this estate. So, you know, the cleaner we can get this one, the better really, because in theory it should help the rest of them all drain. Got quite a bit to do down a road, probably 200 meters or so of it. Luckily I can sit on the tarmac here and just ditch away from this side, so yeah, it's not too bad. There's a couple of telegraph poles in the way as we go, but nothing horrendous. Be a little bit careful around those. I think I'm round the worst one, to be honest, because it had a cable stay on it, which was a little bit of an extra thing to manoeuvre around rather than it just being the pole. The ground here is incredibly tough actually. It doesn't, you know, you think you crunch it down to just square up these slubbings, but actually it's almost like concrete. Anyway, this is the job where dual drive would be an absolute game changer. I mean, you know, it's not hard work. I've got my legs down because I'm sort of using them almost as a handbrake as well, and then I just sort of scooch myself along with the bucket. You know, which does work, but you imagine doing it with the legs up on a 4CX and just like flicking yourself into drive, going forward a bit. You know, you'd have quite a bit of time saved. I reckon it would save probably 20% of the time, because instead of having to move the arm back out in front of me to then use it as my as my walking stick as such, you know, here, this section here, you'd literally just flick it into drive and move her as required. Hold it on the foot brake if you wanted to, and your arm of course would already be, so you'd have saved those seconds just there. I mean, how much ditching do I do? Probably not enough to warrant the money on the dual drive 4CX, but you know, it's just another advantage really of where the newer machines are on jobs such as ditching, which is a very common backhoe sort of job here. You know, I've romped along to the site, and I can rock my way home again. I've got plenty of reach should I need to reach further along the bank, which I wouldn't have if I'd have bought the 3-tonner. And to be honest, you know, the roads I've travelled on, it hasn't been much slower getting here really than it would have been with my pickup and trailer. In fact, arguably, by the time I'd unloaded the trailer, and you know, to go home, loaded and unloaded your trailer again, there's an argument to say that I bet the backhoe would be home first. So, you know, small things, isn't it? Small things, and there is some more ditching work that I've got to do here next week, which you know, I'm unable to get the backhoe in. In fact, it's probably going to be an 18Z job because it's that tight. But you know, for now, where you can get it. I mean, if I could probably get a 6-foot bucket, then I'd be clearing an extra foot every time, which, you know, helps, doesn't it? When you're doing these, you do multiple cycles, an extra foot every time you're ditching. You know, going in for a scoop adds up significantly. So maybe I should look at investing in a slightly wider bucket for these sort of jobs. But even 5 foot at a time it's wider than the 3 foot 6 inch bucket, I guess, if we're talking feet or metre wide. This is a 1.5 metre wide bucket on here, but my 3-tonner's got a metre wide grader on it. Yeah, you'd be it's another little step up, isn't it, in production. Small things sometimes make a big difference to a job. I've priced this job. This is a priced job, sort of allowed a day to do it. I don't hopefully it won't even take a day, because obviously I've got job number 2 to go to yet. I don't know, I've done probably 80 metres, 90 metres. I don't think I'm quite halfway yet, and I've been going an hour and 15 minutes, so I think we'll comfortably get it done in the day. And that's where, this machine is going to earn me some money today, because yes, okay, we're using a bit of diesel, and driving is always a costly experience in a backhoe with the lovely 4.4 litre engine pushing it down the road, but it is a very productive machine when it's here. And yeah, this little scooching myself along job is very good. In case you're wondering, I'll dig the grips out afterwards. It's very difficult to do with the backhoe. If anyone has a technique on how to dig a grip, the problem is these ones are all at 90 degrees to the road. I probably, if I was setting them up myself, I'd dig them at kind of a 45 degree that I could do, obviously clean out with the backhoe. But without either a tilting bucket, you would probably do it. You could do it with the corner of it, I suspect, or a swivelly bucket, and tilt rotators and stuff are all very good for that. You do it then, but don't know how you do it with a fixed bucket. I've not learnt that technique, so I'm going to have to go along here with a broom anyway, just to keep it tidy. It is the entrance and exit out of a nice estate at the end of the day. So if it was a road, the cars and the rain would wash it away, no problem. But I'll just run along with a shovel and tidy it up, just because I think it looks a bit more professional anyway. And just scooching the grips out at the same time is not going to be a hardship. But hopefully that'll be a job for an hour or two's time. But for now we're digging away nicely, and yeah, let's see how we get on. I'll set the time lapse up and show you a bit more of the whole job. Well, things were going quite well, and then I started to smell hydraulic oil, and I thought, that's not good. Thought I'd get out, have a look. Sure enough, drips on the ground, and yeah, done a pipe, and it's looks a tough one. They're all tough to get to, aren't they? This one looks tricky. She's I think it's blown one of the little ones tucked up in here. I guess you're offset to the right all the time in this instance when you're ditching hard over, and yeah, it's done a pipe. Obviously it's dripping down here and whatever, which I put that on, and I've managed to nurse it home. But Yeah, this is getting increasingly frustrating, actually. I've spent a lot of time over the last few months working on this machine. Christmas has been a lot of jobs in the workshop, and it's been, some of which have been on this. I've had the wiper motor stop parking, which was quite annoying, actually. So you lost intermittent, and as soon as you turn the wiper on, you get like constant wiping, but then it would just like cut out. Anyway, turned out to be I've lost a live wire somewhere that's split, died. I'm still not sure where the break is. I still haven't been able to trace that, despite hours of trawling over the wiring diagrams. And this is probably the 4th or 5th hose to go in like a couple of months. I'm just, it's 10 years old, isn't it? So yeah, 2015. And it's just sadly getting to that age where it's doing hoses. I mean, personally, we got hoses on machines and have done, previous machines where they were 30, 40 years old and they've still got their original hoses on. And it's not like it's worn out in hours. I think it's, and I'm not saying this is a JCB problem either. They don't make the hoses at the end of the day. These are good quality hoses, Gates hoses, Parker hoses. They're decent brands, and I just don't think I don't think hoses last as long as they used to. I think all rubber products, to be honest, have gone downhill. I don't think tyres are as good as they used to. Look at the BF Goodrich tyres on my pickup versus the ones that have been on my Land Rover for 18 years, and the 5-year-old ones on my pickup look a lot worse for wear than even the 18-year-old ones on my Land Rover. I have now changed them, by the way, because it gets to a point where you think, yeah, this is, they've done their time. But I don't think I'll get 18 years out of the ones on the truck. They'll run out of mileage, of course, before then. But yeah, they're just not, they're just cracking. And I don't think rubber's as good as it used to be. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of you screaming, well, buy a new machine. Yeah, great idea. But as I said, it is like a 60, 70,000 pound jump to go into a new machine with what they would offer me with what this is worth. Yeah, you buy a lot of hoses for 70 grand. You can buy a lot of everything. And yeah, the way work is as well. I've had, this year alone has been already tricky. We're 1 month into it, and there's been 3 jobs that have kind of were going ahead. Yeah, all, going ahead. Some of which, big jobs for me, north of £100,000 worth of, job. It's a lot of money. I wouldn't make that in profit, but it starts to sort of justify maybe spending some money on kit, right? Being cancelled or put back indefinitely, or the budget's not there now, we need to do it cheaper, how about we do some of the work and then you just do the tricky bits on day work, and it's like, it's not like the jobs that you think you had in the bag. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting year, and as much as I would love to. And new machines break down as much as old ones, don't they? But yeah, frustrating. You're on a job and you think, you know what, this could be a good day today. I had a second job to go to. If it's cancel that means I need to do it another day, which means I need to drive over there again, extra costs, another day of my life. Time is actually worth more money, really, to me than the actual money is. I just don't have enough time. The diary is stacked with stuff, and there isn't enough time to do everything. So there you go. The joys of running plant hire kit. It's not always as it seems on Instagram. So yeah, there you go. Real life, isn't it? I will park this up. Don't know. I've had plenty to do. I've got loads of paperwork I can go and do, but it's not exactly exciting. My CPCS card is running out like tomorrow, whenever the end of January is. So yeah, I'll be unlicensed. There you go. I run the risk for a bit. Mind you can't drive anything that's broken anyway, so whatever. But yeah, need to get back on on renewing my licence and bits and bobs. All this stuff. It's just constant. It's a constant battle. All of which costs money, of course, doesn't it? Money that hard to earn. And this hose, no doubt, is going to cost me more than the sum of me actually doing today's job. But it'll have burst today, it'll have burst tomorrow, next week, next month, wouldn't it? So it's just what it is. It's coming to that age. But she is ultimately a good old girl, plenty of life left in her. But I am going to have to spend a bit of money on hoses, I think, because this is getting a bit too much of a coincidence to bust this many hoses this close together. Yeah, I don't know. There you go. Anyway, that's been the day of me today. I hope you enjoyed watching it. It was fun to make at the start. It's not that much fun now, but this is real life, and I try and show a bit of real life with the contracting game. It does not all go to plan, sadly. So there you go. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.